get boats in there, so if we expand that, I think there used to be people would go down by the dam and put them in over there at the weir. But then we put a cable there so people would do that. And so that's probably why we have a convention. We just need to make it modern.
I think we talked about it before.
Well, I thought that the permit that they
talked about it tonight.
obtained
Well,
was
maybe not
25-24.
this is like.
What I saw from
Well, we
the
can-
original permit was 25-24.
Yeah. We can mention it, but then have.
What we were gonna do is what the rules about that would be.
What the extension was for.
That's what they. Apparently it's the permit. And this is
July.
all I can tell you. I've seen that. Yeah, that's the date on that.
Okay,
13.
let's get started.
No, that's the start date.
And then the reason.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That first time not saying it, it's too similar to everything. Okay, yeah. I'll be right back.
April 12th, 2021. Let's see, Tim?
Here.
Annie?
Here.
Brett? Justin?
Here.
And Brad.
And here.
Do we have any additions to the agenda? I noticed we have a few things here that we're going to talk about, but I think there are lake things that we'll probably mention and then hopefully put them off till the next meeting. But we can see at that time, because there's like 2 or 3 different things. So we can group that. How do you want to handle it? Because there's,
We got floodplain is already on there.
yep,
On the agenda.
the floodplains there, the ordinances that you're going to do.
Well, I got an ordinance there for the survey issue. I don't know that that's on the agenda. And then we've got the actual order that you guys already issued as a resolution for what property 207 Second Street.
Yes. Let's see.
So that could be probably,
3 of, where would it be?
yeah, I don't. Sorry, it's 207 East Second Avenue.
No,
It's not on the agenda,
okay.
but last time it was approved to abate the nuisance order.
It's in there.
It's under Old City. I would say it needs, if it's gonna be added, probably I'd say new city business would be resolution on 207 Second Street or Avenue, and the other one would be ordinance, survey ordinance for lake property transfers.
I want to add to the agenda a sidewalk bid for the park.
It's on there, I thought.
Is it?
Well, you've got streets and alleys.
Oh,
there.
well, you have the retaining wall bid, sorry.
Right. Another one.
Where do you want, you want the,
It can be right at the same time as the other one.
So retaining wall bid and sidewalk.
Yeah.
Is that what that English is for? That one? I think I put that in.
Do we want to do that, where you've got new business issues now we've done? Yeah. The one, the sidewalk for the park.
Right, you wanted to freak it out if you ask me.
See, Brett, what you've got here is you've got, two, bids. One of them is for the lake. Do you want to save that for the lake? Do you want to discuss it a little bit tonight and then save it for the lake? Because we got a lot of stuff to talk about for the city.
No, I want both of them tonight. Just,
I put it on the agenda.
Yeah, I know, that's why I'm asking.
yeah, just put both of them at the same time on the agenda.
They're there.
So it's
Okay,
retaining wall. And,
And
okay, cool.
and. Okay, I need a motion to approve the agenda with those additions.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. After looking at, checking the minutes, do we have any changes there?
Yeah. You said, Tim Wines asked the city what they can do to require residents at Lakewood Muncie to get a survey on their properties. That was actually, if it could just be rewarded to, he was like checking back, because we'd already stated it. This sounds like this was the first time we talked about it, and we'd already talked about it.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm gonna do approve.
Second.
All in favor? We have appropriation ordinance 1485.
Move to approve appropriation ordinance 1485.
Second.
Thank you. Jen,
Yes.
Annie,
Yes.
Brett,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Brett.
Yes.
Unanimous. Cool. Okay. 102 beta hearing. We have a representative here for that property to approach and kind of stand next.
Because somebody's wearing a mask.
Hey, just please sure and speak loud enough so we can hear you. Thank you.
You want me to start?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I received a letter from the city to clean up the property. And I hired somebody to do that, and it was done, I think, within not 10 days, but 11. And then we had the ice storm, so he did not get, there's like 3 things he still needs to do, which is some of the roofs in the back, a stove, and a window. Everything else on the list was done.
The building's secure.
Mhm.
The property looks decent.
Oh, we're gonna paint it this summer. I think it could use a paint and fix the windows to where they don't look so bad. That wasn't on the list yet, so. But yeah.
Okay. Council? Do you have any questions for Mrs. Schaefer? Who owns the property then behind it? Brett, do you own that property there that's, from the gas station and back and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Where all that, is that something you guys are working on? Because it seems like I see things moved around and stuff. That's part of why the area looks so poorly. But it's gonna take a while to clean all that up, I realize that. So are you guys satisfied with what she said or not?
Well, how long is it gonna be before we have to spend money on dealing with this issue again at that same property again? That's what I'm afraid of.
I mean,
We've been down this road
We're gonna
so many
keep it-
times.
we're gonna keep it mowed. He had a stroke last year, so he doesn't work, so he's not working on anything down there, so. I can't imagine, the yard was clean before until some guy living in that shed did some stuff to it, but, it had, since the last time we met, we had not been down there and messed anything up. I think there's that guy living in the shed.
Yeah, if you could, at the very least, keep those doors secured and shut, and because
But
it's
you have
gonna,
to check, because, people broke in there many times. I
They
think
have.
like in the Brett's property and just something that goes on in there. Well, all over town.
But it's gonna be mostly used for storage, then you're not gonna rehab it for a rental or anything like
It's
that?
gonna be storage. I'm not sure if we're going to have it in, fix it up to where anybody's living in it. I'm thinking about turning it down because I have some other ideas for property, but, I just don't know yet. I've,
Okay,
Bill
then,
sick and when I finished my PhD program, we just did not mess it up.
all right. I think a lot of, people realize and associate the mess that was made down there by the people that were living in that small building. And it's been, bought by other people now who have the very strong intentions of cleaning that area up and actually have been putzing around hotel. And so if you keep your building secure and if they break your windows, which I hope that doesn't keep happening,
They have.
just put boards over them and
Yeah.
paint the boards and make the place look
Yeah.
nicer.
And that's what we did. We've got now, I noticed the guy that I'd hired, I don't know what he was thinking, but one of the windows, the big windows in the front, he didn't get like the board all the way to the top. So, I've got to hire somebody local. But he'll the other windows that's going on top, didn't nobody can get to anyway. So, but the rest of the house is secure. We took the back door, well, the front door we, nailed shut from the inside. And then the back door, I mean, if anybody wants to break in, somebody's gonna drive by and see them before they get it done. It is that
Or maybe
secure.
hear them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is that secure, so.
All right. All right, then the idea is to keep property, mowed and groomed. And if you paint it, that's great. Because it is one of the first things they see when they come into the community. And I know we're all interested in cleaning up the whole place. And
Well,
And if you tear that house down and put-
Somebody to do that.
yeah, if you ever tear that house down, put a house there, that would be great. Because I think that the house is probably not secure. I mean, it's not livable anymore.
Like I said, it's a matter of budget and it's a matter of, Bill just can't go down and do that stuff anymore.
Okay.
He's just not there, so.
Okay. Does the council have anything else further to say to her? Do you want her to do something else besides what you stated? To maintain,
Just the time frame.
let's see, you've got the doors secured, the windows, the front
I've gotta
window.
hire somebody else. The
Okay.
guy that responded to my ad, I put in Eskridge Watch, was not from this area. So I need to find somebody local that I know that can just go down there and trust them to get it done. I mean, he was working hard, but that, ice storm came in and that just kind of stopped him dead. You know, like he just has not been back. So I just gotta find somebody I can trust to go down and work it.
Okay.
So I don't know, as soon as I get somebody local to do it, I'll get it done.
Council, a month, 6 weeks, what?
Say a month.
Nobody has anything to say now.
What?
I really haven't looked over that direction, I guess, lately, so.
I looked at
I'd
it.
be a lot
Most
of
of,
place speaking about it.
most of it, the little gas station has to be secured again, and I know that you've shut that several times and somebody keeps kicking it open. Most of the mess is what was left from the people the squatters that took all the stuff out of that building and they threw that trash all over in the back.
Yeah, they stole all of Gary's stuff. They came in our house and wiped it out. I mean, they just.
Yeah.
terrorized the whole corner.
And so then the rest of the stuff, I don't know who that belongs to.
What's your plan for that big green van?
I'll probably sell it when I get the title. But it's got an antique tag, so it's not, like untagged or anything. It does run, so.
Do you have have you put in for a lost title, or you need a title for it?
I do to sell it, yeah. But it's tagged and it's insured and it's, it runs. I don't need to drive it. You know?
Put it for sale, so I don't know
And,
if
Bill
it
can't
sell.
drive, so.
Yeah, sell it. I mean, you can accept it or not accept it. I mean, you guys It's your hearing. I'm not going to.
Well, if there's still outstanding items on the list, I would say that let's go ahead and extend it and see if those outstanding items get done, but that's,
Month or 6 weeks.
I don't have the letter with me, so, if somebody wants to read off that last, I can tell you if it's done or not, but I'm pretty sure it all is, except for some of the weeds in the back that he couldn't get to, because they're froze up, but. But he did make sure the weeds in the front were done,
Well, if
you
you,
know, and over on the side where the road could be sitting.
possibility would be to extend this hearing for 30 days to the next meeting, so that
City meeting.
next city meeting, so you can assess compliance. You could have the city officer go out there and look at it and take pictures or whatever you want to do.
And make sure the weeds are done.
Yeah, the stove that needed to be moved, I thought that was.
Yeah, and quite. Nobody, they cared about it before, because you really can't see.
Actually, that would be May 10th then. Oh, yeah, next city meeting.
Yeah,
Is the stove trash?
Yeah, it is. I just don't have anybody that can,
Because if it's trash and you're throwing it away, I'll remove it for you.
thank you. I would love that, thank you.
All right.
well, you need a motion to do that.
I have a motion to extend this hearing until May 10th,
I'll move to
2021.
extend till May 10th.
Do I have a second?
second.
All in favor? All opposed? 3 and 2. Okay. 2021 audit. Wait a minute, did I miss something?
I was just saying that
No.
hearing's concluded.
Oh, I'm sorry. The hearing's concluded. Thank you, Ms. Shea.
I don't appreciate it.
Really?
Awesome.
Congratulations. I know you worked for that long time. I'll be darned.
So April unfortunately could not be here, but she put a letter in the packet. The audit went well and was completed on March 2nd, 2021. I was just waiting for her to be able to come and present to you guys. I have the actual audit here, if anyone wants to look it over. Fun reading material for you.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah, as you can see, there were no violations or any other issues. So, and yeah, I didn't have to adjust anything.
None that she knows about.
You can kick them out of the table.
Right.
It's that lawyer talking again.
That book right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Never
So,
be 100% committal on it.
Never convicted.
What?
what?
No.
Yeah, they just, we're
Giving him crap.
And then she also sent me the electronic version. So if anyone wants it emailed, I can email it to you also.
late
So there
night
you go.
reading.
Yeah. And that's,
Super strong desire. I'm just glad she doesn't come and spend an hour like.
oh no, in April wouldn't anyways, if she comes
You were
to
having-
present,
I used to come to those meetings and then I regretted it.
but she
immensely.
is
Me
quick.
too.
She's very short and to the point. And
She's,
Yes.
she's
She understands that accounting is not for everyone.
yeah. She makes it super easy too, so I'm
Good.
just
That's
my
why
input.
I
I am really glad that we went that way, so.
That's that.
Yeah.
We're
that's
happy with
that.
our audit.
That's probably the quickest audit report you guys have ever had.
and most entertaining.
And actually, would you send that to me?
Of course.
Because like, you know, it's better, for me, it's better than sleeping pill.
Yeah. And you can have a paper. Yeah.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Do we have to accept this right here? Mr. Cox?
I don't think so.
It's just a report. I
It's just a
believe.
report, okay.
And then, I mean, the other thing is too, just to throw this out there, we'll probably have to be amending the budget this year with the gas situation. So
Yeah,
keep that in mind, but she did say you have until the end of the year to amend the budget. So.
So December 27th.
Pretty much.
27th.
And I've never been through that process, so.
It's the same as the budget process, so you might want to just do it at the same time you do the budget.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So, yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you. Public concerns and comments, please. And thank you.
Anybody?
Not yet.
Not yet? No. So you're on the agenda somewhere?
No. No, I mean, if I have a question, I'll ask it.
She doesn't have anything to complain about yet, is what she said.
Well,
Gotcha.
Not as much.
Thank you. Did Mike leave you a report?
He did not.
You
No,
just did
you
it?
guys, yeah, and you guys have a financial statement, so
Mhm.
let me know if you have any questions,
Right there.
and that's all I have.
Okay.
I'll update you then on the bandstand progress. They've been working on the footings and replacing each one of those supports, the concrete at the foot. This looks terrible, but it's good. I think they're doing 13 total. They're actually adding 3 in the middle. So 15 total. Did I just say that? 15 total, and I think they got 8 done, but they had to quit when it started raining because all their holes were flooded. So they moved up to start pulling wood off the top. If you've noticed, it doesn't have any more rails, so don't climb on it. And he said they're going to start working on the floor, replacing all the rot on the floor. And then one of the guys is working on the rails and whatnot and seeing what they can salvage and then what they need to replace. And the roof was done off and replaced within a day. So if you haven't noticed that, there's a new roof shingle on top. We did get our first invoice, I think, today. I just wanted to verify because I'm not 100% positive what we approved, and I don't want to go all the way to the end and then do the wrong thing. But originally, when we went with Riley, I think we approved up to $70,000 on the budget. Now, what the Eskridge Park Foundation and the Heritage Trust Fund grant are paying for is about $54,000, I think $155. And then his budget was $68,000. So there is a window, and I would like them to do everything professionally. I think we talked about doing the paint job, possibly with volunteer work. I would love it if we could maybe just have them take care of the entire job. I want to verify with you guys if that's okay, or if we need to motion that again. I don't know. Before we get to that point, because paint, I think, will be here pretty quickly before we realize. So let me think. It's about 14,000, I think, in difference roughly that the city would have to cover. I am gonna apply for an increase from the Heritage Trust Fund grant, which you can do if your project goes over budget, but they only give you I think it's 5% or 8%. I don't know off the top of my head. It's been 2 months since I asked them, so. So I will start that process here shortly, but I don't think it'll be done before we're done with the project, I guess. So I'll try to get more money for it, is what I'm trying to say. But I want to make sure the city's okay with covering the extra budget, or not.
How much was it? How much was the painting again?
I'd have to dig it. It was like 14 or 16,000. I think it's about 14,000. So that was that. And we did have our maintenance guys pull the ramp off, so that cost was pulled out, but it wasn't a huge amount because it's a quick thing. And they have been working with us on budget the whole time. And obviously when we had the hiccup, they kept the budget the same. So I don't know. I guess I'll stop talking so I can hear what you guys think.
What your question is on the paint? Is that what you're wanting us to think about?
Well, I mean, when we initially discussed this, the motion was made to approve up to $70,000 on the budget.
Yeah.
But we were still kind of batting around whether we should take care of painting with volunteer work or if we have them do it.
So, all right. So we have a few people that volunteered to paint, but We don't know for sure if they're gonna paint and
No, no, no.
you're
no.
wanting
No,
to.
we're
This
wanting it
is-
to be the professional
I
job
want
done.
The
so we want-
professional
That would be
job.
nice.
Because we will arrange from now on to have volunteers come and paint it every 4 to 5 years to make sure that we never have this
That
kind of
first
a
layer
issue.
is a,
But I would really
is
like
one,
the first
yeah.
one to be professionally done, if possible. And I realize this is probably the wrong year for that budget conversation, but
So it's more of a question of who's gonna cover the extra
yes,
cost, right?
yeah, extra cost.
Than what you guys were approved for.
Mhm.
Right.
you know that, Can Equip weekly communication grant thing that I sent you, is that something that could apply?
No,
To the park?
this is gonna be waste. This is like,
Like
they're
right
gonna
now?
be done by mid-May on this project. We don't wanna delay this
Okay,
decision.
yeah, cause I don't know when this project comes in. I mean, when this money.
Oh
comes
yeah,
in.
this will be 6 months down the road.
So we would have to take it well, where can we get it from? General fund?
I mean, I assume
Do we
that's.
have a
what it'd
rich
have to-
person that we can tap? Some millionaire out there.
What's the projection of how much we're gonna go over? I mean, it's,
Well,
I'd say probably 14,000.
let me get the quote, the official quote.
That's over
It's
the
about
amount that we have
14,000.
already gone over, or that's over the original amount?
The 14,000 would just be what I'm asking the city to pay.
But weren't we already over budget, or do I have that wrong?
So when we were awarded the grant before COVID, the projected amount from the architect was $54,155. And that's what we got from the Heritage Trust Fund. So they gave us 43,000 something, and then we covered the 10,000. So the Park Foundation's doing the 10,800 and something. So those two together just gives us 54,155. I'm going to apply to get more, but it's only going to be at max, I think, $8,000. So obviously that would go right back to the city if I do get that back. Sorry, I didn't mean not to do that.
So you're
Gesturing.
looking at basically 6,000 to 7,000 that would
Yeah.
actually be on the.
As long as we,
16 to 17.
Hmm?
Is that right?
no.
Well, you
I was
get
going up
8,000
to
Got the
14.
8 back.
If I get
Okay,
8,000
okay.
back, and that's, I'm not positive on that number at all. So I won't.
So in other words, we should think of it more as 14,000.
Yes,
And then-
because
then if you
potentially I
get-
may not, but they should grant, if they have the
Yeah.
funds, they will grant it back, basically.
And that'd be great.
Side note, have you contacted the Jones Park people?
Not yet, no. It's I think Down's Rolling Trust, I think Jones, she said, was actually in for you.
The
That
Jones
was
one
my
time,
point, is they don't give it to Wabunsee County, but they have before, so they might again.
what they gave us
Maybe
before
later.
was the interest on that they earn on their money that's in the bank. Do you remember that? Maybe you might be too young.
Yeah.
The Jones, we approached them, I think, for the swimming pool.
And then you give
remember.
some money for the pool.
And we got whatever their interest was, that's what they
Oh, okay.
donated to us. But I can't remember. It was a lot, but it was a long time ago. So I wonder if they wouldn't do that again.
And it's my understanding they only spend the interest. I don't think they ever touch the principal. That is quite a fund.
So that, yeah, I know, so I understand, yeah. So they did give it to us one.
So them to
one
give
year.
us $14,000, they wouldn't even know that it's gone. That's why I think it'd be a good idea to ask them. I mean, that, like I said, we're saying to say no. But in the meantime, we
Right.
need to address the problem at hand.
I can continue to try to get this money back from other areas, and we obviously are always working on money. Without trying to rob from our own grant seed money here. But I do need to know this more specifically for Riley Construction, because I need to stop them from painting if they're not going to be paid for it.
And isn't the majority of that painting cost the scraping and removal of old?
They do need to be lead licensed, and I mean, it takes a little more now to paint old buildings, whereas you can.
So actually applying the paint itself, even if we were to do that, we're not gonna whittle much off of the cost for doing that part.
Not necessarily.
No, because they're probably gonna have a spray on.
I will say, I think it's going to be kind of difficult to do it with volunteer help because of the way that they're piecing together. They're keeping some pieces and replacing. So, it's going to be kind of all over the place, and they may paint as they put on. I don't know how that's going to work exactly. So maybe kind of a weird job anyway.
So what do you need a motion for? It needs to be done right.
You know where
So
to
what do
get
you
the
need a
money
motion
from.
for?
I need to know if the city will cover the budget hole between the 54,000 and the 68.
Which is what?
About 14,000. I need a number I can do.
Can we use sales tax money? I believe parks is a stated purpose.
I guess I can rule this out if that happens.
Yeah, I would say that that's,
So, yeah,
that was stated as a special purpose, you can.
we've got about a year's worth, I think. Is that almost a year? Maybe?
Yeah.
The first one to get
Actually.
rolled in May? Okay. So,
It was but a
It
dream.
might have been a year in June. I can't remember. Is it
It's not gonna take, it's not taking all of that money, and we don't
Yeah,
have to
cool.
do it that way, I guess.
okay, 35. So that would take that down by 40%.
And we don't have the authority for that, but I mean, if you're already amending the budget, then it
It's gonna
would.
be.
Well, if you take it out
all
of
the
sales
rules
tax, at
are
least
over.
21,000.
I just hate to hit general that hard. but
What do you do then? What are the other options?
Sales tax.
Sales tax. Okay, so that sounds like we either take it out of general, which, yeah, or sales tax. And the sales tax is park, like he said, and
Solid waste is a general like fund, but I don't know how much authority we have on solid waste.
You'd have to do a transfer.
Yeah.
You can't use it.
yeah, that's really good.
General, but
Can we take some of it out of the lake? Because the lake isn't, it's dedicated, but it's not by ordinance, is it? Isn't it just by design?
Yeah, it's not, technically that's,
Taking from a park to be
It's
in a
a park.
park.
yeah, it's not a,
Well, that mess you guys up.
No.
it's not a separate fund. There's no.
We got building.
Yeah, the only,
That's
you're
true.
right, Todd.
$30,000 wall.
It's
I
all
want sidewalks.
I mean, again, I'm gonna try to cover most of this, but I don't know yet. I don't really want to take from the lake when they want to try to do that.
The lake fund was established years and years ago so that we could show the people out at the lake what we use the money for. And it seems to me that where we're going from a park to a park, that's a good use of it. And we still leave a big lot of money in that lake fund.
Not enough.
It's never enough, yeah.
we always
Enough
seem
for
to
this
have,
concrete wall that was taken out. We have to put that $30,000 wall back.
It's 30.
And,
Well, and that apron.
just to speak to your point about the money being used, I don't think the lake residents will see their money being used in town as the same as if their money was used at the lake.
Well, we used to have a good relationship with the lake, and I could see that they wouldn't be bothered by the park getting some of that money for the simple reason that they used to enjoy our park. And if we return our park to whatever our dream is, they would probably appreciate that. But that's not just from the revenues that we get off of the residents out there, it's also from the park and the revenue we get off of the park.
In technical point, it's not their money anymore.
Is this something the general fund wouldn't be able to sustain?
That's why I like it.
I'm sorry, it was my idea.
I mean, the operating checking and general fund, you can see is pretty low because anything can come out of the general fund. So it's always low.
I will say that we had 3 houses slated to be demolished, and we've single-handedly taken 2 off of that by extending and giving extra permissions. So the money that we had, that we were thinking we were going to have to spend on those properties, clearly are not going to be spent on those properties.
You can thank me for
Which,
that,
I
for being
mean-
stubborn, because I wanted curbs and guttering.
And so this whole conversation really, I mean, the amount of money is the total in the operating checking. So wherever it comes from, it's kind of the same amount of money. It's just a matter of like transfers and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So there are still big transfers that can be made to the general.
But
just-
you're committing whatever, wherever it comes from, it comes out.
Right.
On the
So
general.
Well,
It-
it could be
Yeah,
transferred
yeah.
from.
wherever
Yeah.
you guys,
Sewer.
Decide.
authorize it
Or
from.
transfer.
So,
Not the gas is gonna happen.
What are
Yeah,
our best
no,
options to
probably
transfer
yes.
from?
well, right now, what you have set up.
I mean, keeping in mind that we have the bid for the walls at the lake that absolutely for safety purposes need to be getting done.
How it's set up right now with your 2021 budget is, well, really every year, your transfers come from your revenue funds. So water, gas, lake. And I don't know if sewer is. I'd have to go back and look at our budget. I think we
Probably
have
should be
been
sewer.
keeping, yeah, I think we've been keeping sewer,
We gotta leave the sewer.
Oh, yeah.
Current predicament.
waiting that for it to grant, so. But your revenue funds are what carry your general fund. And then, of course, I mean, tax money, but the bulk of that has already come in. It comes in January.
For the 1%.
So like your property
Property
taxes.
tax.
Yeah,
When will we get another installment of the 1%?
you get it every month.
And how much has it been being every month?
So,
That's not quite a year, the 35.
Yeah.
So, yeah, is
35,000.
it 11 months? Yeah, so.
Yeah.
3,800 a month, somewhere like that.
Why can't we take it out of the lake? We have 60,000 there.
What if we split it?
Yeah, well, I just,
We have
37
I think here, I think the thing to do here is that it's technically academic about where you take it from. That will be
General fund.
fleshed out later. The thing you're doing today is committing, paying that from some fund or another. And it's not.
Okay, I'll move to pay it.
I'll second.
Where, from where?
He just said we didn't have to decide right now. We can decide what
It'll
fund
be
we
from the
want to
general
take it out
funds of
of
the city.
later.
Yeah, it'll be general fund of the city, and then if we need
Or
to. and if we
by
need
way
to-
And
of
that'll be out of the general fund, but whatever we beef the general fund with is yet to be decided.
Beef. It's in a budget, it's in the budget. All budget transfers are in the published budget.
I will return next meeting with more information on what I can get back. Does that sound good?
Do we have a vote yet?
No, so you have a
Motion and a second. All in favor?